Well, it's time for me to get started cooking. I just gotta make sure I have the right cookbook this time. Hey everyone, this is Rabbit as well at AnimationBliss, and welcome to another underrated obscure cartoon corner. So today's underrated obscure cartoon we'll be talking about today is the What a Cartoon short, The Kitchen Casanova. And before I get into my thoughts about this short, here are a few words from the channel. Alright Animaniacs, now let's get on the social media train. Want to chat with us in 100 words or less? Then check out our Twitter account. Want to chat with us within a group? Then check out our Facebook account. Want to get the lowdown on everything dealing with animation on this channel? Then check all of the above. And now, we return to our regularly scheduled program. So The Kitchen Casanova was a What a Cartoon short that was created by John McIntyre. And it's basically about this man who is trying to get ready for his date, and he's trying to prepare the special meal for his date. But unfortunately, when the man goes into his kitchen to cook up the special dinner he has planned for his date, a gush of wind comes into the kitchen and it ends up blowing the pages of his cookbook. And unfortunately, the man wasn't really paying attention to what he was cooking or what the recipes were saying in the cookbook. And he ends up putting all of these recipes together into this one dish. And he ends up taking this dish to his date. And what happens next? Did his date enjoy the meal? Find out in this cartoon short. So I remember watching this short when I was a kid, and for many years I was trying to figure out what the short was called, because the only thing I ever remember about the short was the fact that it had the man trying to prepare the special meal for his girlfriend, and he ended up messing up his dish. So that was the only thing I really remember about the short, but I never remember the name of the short until I went on YouTube and I looked up the short and I found out it's called The Kitchen Casanova. And I also found out it's a What a Cartoon short. So those are two things that I found out about this short. So let's talk about what I did like about the short. First off, it was the premise itself. Even though the premise of the short may seem a bit simple, like it's just about a guy trying to prepare a special meal for his date, but he ends up messing up the dish due to getting his cookbook all mixed up, this short actually did this premise in such an interesting and exaggerated way. So I like the fact that there's a lot of over-exaggeration going on in this short, like how the man ends up overreacting to a lot of things going on throughout the short, especially dealing with his cooking, and about the different dishes that the man goes through in his cookbook when the wind comes in and starts messing up with his cookbook. And we get dishes like roasted iguana and porcupine pie, which I thought was really over the top and kind of odd. And it made me wonder if such dishes actually exist in real life, or this is just something made for the show. But either way, I really love the over-exaggeration of this short, and I just love how they were able to tackle the premise about this man trying to prepare the special dinner for his girlfriend, but he ends up getting things so messed up with his dish that it just comes off as being very funny. Another thing I really liked about this anime short was the animation and the art style. The art style reminded me so much of some of those cartoons where you have characters that have exaggerated expressions on their faces, like their eyes are so big that they take off most of their heads. And that's what happened with this particular art style, is that most of the characters' eyes take off most of their heads and it gives them a bizarre look. And I really like the way that the short was animated, as it used line boil animation. And line boil is basically where the characters' outlines seems like it's squiggling a lot or moving around a lot. And that's what happened in this short. So just think of Ed and Eddie and that type of animation, how the characters seem like they're moving around a lot, but it's really just their outlines of their bodies kind of moving around. And that's what happened with this short. Now, if there was an issue with this short, and it's more like it depends on the viewer, is that there's a lot of dark comedy in this short. Like, for example, there was this one scene when the man accidentally cut off his finger, and I have to say I was a bit shocked at that scene because it's pretty violent, and I don't see a lot of children's shows go that far with that type of dark humor, maybe except for Vader Zim somewhat. But yeah, it was a bit shocking, and I think that viewers who don't like that type of humor might cringe a bit at that scene. But another dark comedy moment happens towards the end of this short, where we see the man's dish unfold. And I won't tell you what's in the dish, but when I mentioned the porcupine pie and the steamed iguana, you guys might have a good idea about what his final dish will look like. But yeah, there is some dark comedy in this short, and for those of you who don't like dark comedy, might have a hard time with this particular animated short. But overall, I really enjoyed the Kitchen Casanova. Sure, there is some dark comedy that some people might not like, but I really enjoyed this particular short because I love the dark comedy, I love the animation style of it, and I love the premise itself and how it got over-exaggerated as the short goes on. So those are some things I really liked about the short, and I definitely recommend the Kitchen Casanova if you're looking for a good animated short that has lots of dark comedy. So that's my review on the Kitchen Casanova, and tell me in the comments down below, have you seen the Kitchen Casanova? And if you have, did you like the short? Did you hate the short? And what were some of your favorite animated TV shows that has lots of dark humor? Please feel free to tell me in the comments down below. Well, hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is Rabbit Ball Animation Bliss, and I'll see you guys later.